So let's say your child has an individualized education program and they are either still in the hospital or they've come home, but you as an IEP team has met with the team members, and the team decides that there needs to be some further evaluation, assessment, testing. Right. The child may not be available, if you will, for the testing. And what I mean by that is emotionally available. Right. And so this is something that the team really needs to consider, the timing and the readiness for that evaluation process to start.
Yeah, and this is a difficult one from a legal perspective, because very often if a child is repeatedly being hospitalized or is hospitalized for something that is so egregious that the next step is a very restrictive program like a therapeutic program, perhaps out of the school district. I have to caution parents about this issue because there is a provision of the special education laws. Let's just say hypothetically that a parent believed that their child required a therapeutic placement out of district at public expense, and the school district disagrees with that. If the parent refuses permission for the child to be evaluated, does not make the child available for testing, there is a provision of the law that says that the parent's right to reimbursement of that outside evaluation, should they choose to exercise their right to ask for it, could be denied by a hearing officer if the parent refused to have the child evaluated. And it stands to reason. Why should a parent be able to get a school district to pay for a program that the school doesn't think the child needs if the parent refused permission for the school to even assess the child's needs? So it's tricky. It gets trickier if you have a student who's genuinely not available for being tested. And so what does available mean? Let's break that down. First, if it's that the child is still in the hospital, then what I would advise is the parent should very clearly be making every effort to make themselves and their child open to the testing, provided it's done in conjunction with the hospital team, and even suggest perhaps that a psychiatrist at the hospital do the assessment. Are there particular tests you'd like to administer, you may say to the team, and can they do it there since that's where he is, or can you go there? I've had lots of clients evaluated by their school team at a hospital. So you want to make sure that you're making your child and yourself very open to the testing and that you're not refusing it.
Because at the end of the day, hopefully if your child is available emotionally, and obviously you have to put that first. But you don't want to put yourself in the position that you're not going to be working with your school district. You want to be very much doing whatever you can to let them get the information they need. Because they need that information to make a sound decision about what will be an appropriate placement
and one
eventually.
of the things as a practical tip that I say in IEP teams where this is a question, is the kid emotionally available for this testing, is I'll say to the team, look, you want to do this testing because you want to have the information that's reliable to use to program for this child. If the information you're going to get is not true information about what this child's profile looks like, but is actually just a reflection of the fact that they're in crisis in the hospital, the test results may not be valid. Almost any good evaluator will tell you, well, I have to treat these with caution because it was done when the kid was depressed or it was done when the kid was on certain medications. So I say you don't want information that's not reliable either to the school team, and that's a good path to go down. I just want parents to be very careful that they are not being perceived or it's not being documented that they're refusing permission for the testing, but in fact are working with the team to find ways to do it right.
So what should a parent do, Jen, when the child is not available? They're just emotionally not available to be assessed. What should they do so that they don't fall into the category where it looks like they're not being compliant?
One suggestion is to ask the team if there's an individual at the hospital that the team would like to communicate with and sign the proper releases and consents for that to occur, so that there's a point person who's going to let the team know when the child is available for testing.
That's good advice.
And that's one tip. There are lots of ways to put your heads together as a team. I think the important thing for me is that it's clear from the record you've actually worked with them to solve the problem, not resisted them getting the answers they need.
Absolutely.